in terms of the work that I do as a food economist, one aspect of the research that I've done and what I focused on that I think connects to people are food prices. And that's because we come into contact with food prices much more readily than we do other prices in the economy. And it's very personal to individuals and households because we all have to eat and we all, have to procure food. Now, food prices have been a topic that has received a lot of attention over the past 6 years, ever since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. And it's really been impacted by a variety of factors over that period of time. And as you mentioned, much more recently, we've seen the impacts of the tariffs and trade policy, the impacts of the conflict in the Middle East, what that's doing to oil prices, the price of fertilizer. So when it comes to what we're currently looking at with respect to food prices, the story is that it's not just one thing. It's really a convergence of factors, sort of layered impacts that are really driving up the price of food. But at the current moment, the food prices are really reflecting some of the shocks from the tariffs and trade policy, as well as the beginnings of the impact of the conflict in the Middle East, which started back at the end of February, but it takes time for a lot of those shocks to make their way down the supply chain to the price that you and I pay for at the grocery store. So, there's all of those shocks, but, there's still the impacts of climate change, adverse weather, the impacts of increased consumer spending on food, which all add inflationary pressures to prices. So again, the real story here is that it's not just one driver. It's really this convergence of factors that are really pushing up the price of food. And I think that's one of the sort of key things that are really important to communicate to the public.